Opening day baseball here is finally here, I guess, as our Detroit Tigers take on the Tampa Bay Rays here at Tropicana Field. There's not much to say. We are having a rebuilding year, and Tampa Bay Rays are looking to win their division yet again. You'll see here in just a moment our projected leaders in certain stats. You can see Riley Green is projected to be our average leader with a 258 average. I hope our average leader is better than that, but not a lot of high averages here for the Detroit Tigers. On the mound today for the Rays is Shane McClanahan, a great ace, as he will face Javi Baez as first batter of the year, 3-1 count. Baez gets a pitch he likes and pops it up to about center field, which will be out number 1. And we'll take a look at the lineup thrown out there today for the Detroit Tigers. You can see the 1 through 9 in each position. Baez, Riley Green, Miggy, Eric Haas, Matt Vierling, surprisingly batting 5th, I don't know why, Jonathan Scope, Nick Maton, Kerry Carpenter, and then Austin Meadows rounds it out. First pitch in the next at-bat, that will be Riley Green, who lines out to shortstop for out number 2. And then Miggy Cabrera here, possibly his final season, he pops it up into about shallow right field for out number 3. On the other side, pitching for us is the former Red Sox E-Rod, Eduardo Rodriguez. He's our opening day starter and our ace, hoping he can have a nice little bounce back year here, as he didn't do horrible last year, but as our ace we want a little bit better. He starts off getting a Randy Arozarena on a ground out to first to Miggy. You can see this 1 through 9 there. For the Rays, it's a little bit shorter, so I can't really read off everybody. But next batter here will be Manuel Margot, and he will somehow get hit by a pitch here. It might have hit him. I wasn't really paying attention. But either way, he'd get on base, and then very next play, he tried to steal, and he would get gunned down by Eric Haas, getting a nice little pop-up there, throwing him out on a changeup nonetheless. And then next pitch would be a line out for Yandy Diaz to end the first inning. Both teams go scoreless. We're now jump ahead late into the second here, where it's Jonathan Scope in a full count with 2 outs, and he would proceed to provide the first base hit of the year for the Detroit Tigers, as he gets an early base runner, or I guess a late base runner here in the second, but there would be nothing that comes of it, as the next batter would be Nick Manton, who would strike out and get thrown out at first on the drop third strike to end the inning for the Tigers. Nice little potential there with a base hit, but nothing comes of it. Now we have A's franchise legend Austin Meadows, his first at bat. He decides he doesn't want the bat anymore. He just flings it into the crowd, and he takes strike 1. He would proceed to end up striking out on a check swing. Hopefully he can be like A's Austin Meadows and not like Detroit Tigers Austin Meadows. We now jump to the bottom of the third here, where Eduardo Rodriguez was dealing through 3. He'll end up getting Randy to line out here and has scoreless 3, which is very big here as our ace. We would then jump ahead to the fourth here against Yandy Diaz in a 3-2, 1 out, and he would proceed to get Yandy Diaz will proceed to get a bloop hit in the right field. I believe that was their first hit of the day here. A couple walks, I believe, happened and hit by pitches, but that was the first true hit. Now it's Wander Franco, 3-2 count. He proceeds to draw a walk, so Eduardo Rodriguez has to deal with 2 on and 1 down. I guess that wasn't Wander Franco. This is Wander Franco. But Franco would hit a base hit in the right field. Meadows would not get up in time and throw him out at home. And the Rays went on the run, or get on the scoreboard first, as it is 1-0. However, Eduardo Rodriguez would get out of the inning almost, but he hits Paredes. But then he would get out of the inning. But the bases loaded, Mejia would ground out to Miggy Cabrera, making the easy play, and it is 1-0 Rays to end the 4th inning. We now jump ahead to the top of the 5th inning, where it's Matt Vierling up, the righty speedy center fielder. He'd get a bloop base hit into left field to get the 5th inning started. Hoping to have a big inning here and have a lot of speed on that base path is always helpful. We then jump ahead to Jonathan Scope. He would proceed to hit a rip down the line, stopped by the first baseman, but we advance the runner to second. Scope gets out, and that would be out number 1. Now it's Nick Manton here, 1-0 0-1 count. He drives one to deep right field. Back at the wall goes to center fielder Siri, and that ball is gone. First home run of the year for the Detroit Tigers is what everyone projected. Nick Manton going 4-14 lefty-lefty, and he gives the Tigers a 2-1 lead. You can see Miggy and Jonathan Scope, I believe that is. Excited. Yearling high fives him at the plate. And like I said, the Tigers go up 2-1 here on opening day. McClanahan would then get out of the inning, though, as he would end up getting a second out. And then Austin Meadows strikes out again to end the 5th inning. But not before Nick Manton puts up 2 for the Tigers. And then jump to the bottom half where Erod allows a base hit to a speedy man, Jose Siri. And, well, early base runner with that speed is always scary. We then jump 2-2. It's Randy Arozarena. He strikes out on a hanging circle change. Let's try not to throw that again. Manuel Margot now up with 1 down, runner at first. He would proceed to swipe second as it almost just a good pitch to steal on there. Change up in the dirt. And then 3-2 count. Margot would rip it. That stays fair. Easily scoring Siri and getting a double there. And tying the game at 2 for the Rays. And that would end up doing it for Erod as he would come out after 4 1/3. Allowed 2 runs, had a few walks, not many strikeouts, but he did have a solid first 3 innings. Did hit 2 batters total, I believe. But either way, he had a good opening day start in my eyes, and Will Vest would be the first one out of the pen for us this year. See his stats from last year. And his first batter would be Yandy Diaz, and first pitch he faced hits a ground ball, advances the runner to third, but gets out number 2. And Will Vest would eventually get out of the inning here. It's a 2-1 count to Brandon Lowe. Would be a ground ball to third base where Scope fields it and throws it on. And that would end the 5th tied 2-2. We then jump ahead to the top of the 7th. And not much really happened. 0-2 count. Eric Haas up against McClanahan, who's still in the game. And it's a drive to deep right field going opposite field against the shift. Eric Haas gets in there with an easy double. And it is now, like I said, 2-2, leadoff double. There's a big shot here for the Tigers. Next up, Jonathan Scope. Actually, 2 batters later, Jonathan Scope. He drives one into left field, and that's going to get over Arozarena's head. That's going to easily score Haas. Scope's going to get in there at second, and the Tigers retake the lead here in the top of the 7th. McClanahan's day, I believe, would end there. I'm not exactly sure, as we see the replay here. And that would end, yes, that would end McClanahan's day. As he went like 6 1/3, he had a pretty good game, but did allow the 3 runs. He didn't walk many batters, but he did get a few strikeouts. But again, he allowed a few hits, and Luis Patino would come on to try to hold this lead. 1-1 count. Nick Manton rips one in the center field. Scope would score from second. Manton has 3 RBIs of the 4 that we have right now. And again, it is 4-2 Detroit. Later on that inning, Kerry Carpenter would ground it to a 6-4-3 inning ending double play, but not before we took the lead in the mid-7th, or top of the 7th. And we're hoping to hold that lead as Jason Foley comes out of the pen, one of our better pitchers last year. Hoping he could have another good year here, but 2 early runners on. Brandon Lowe will hit a base hit into right, and that would easily score one of them. The other runner goes to third. And now it is 4-3 as Detroit struggled to keep this lead going. 1-1 count now. Runner still at first and second. Ball in the dirt. Haas picks it up, guns down the runner, advancing to second. And it gets the clutch second out there, Eric Haas. But 3-2 count. He would lose control over Wander Franco as he would draw the walk. Pitching coach would come out, try to calm him down a bit, make sure he has his confidence going. He's 25 pitches into his day, and he was only expected to pitch 1 inning. But here he gets an early strike 1 against Harold Ramirez, looking like he got his confidence back. And Ramirez, or the ball would get away. Franco will go to second base here. Haas can't throw him down instead. But 2-2 count. He would end up getting Ramirez to ground out to second. And Tigers still hold their lead going into the top of the 8th, trying to look for an upset here on opening day. Go to the top of the 8th now. It starts off with Austin Meadows, 3-1 count. He draws the walk as he gets on base for the first time this year. Next batter up, Javi Baez. He rips one into right center field for a base knock. Meadows would go first to third on that hit. And Baez gets his first hit of the year. Now bringing up Riley Green here. Today's DH, because I forgot about Spencer Torkelson for somehow. And he rips one down the line, base knock. 1 run would easily score, upping the lead 5-3. Runners would stay at first and second there for Miguel Cabrera, who will come up, and he gets a opportunity to drive in his first run of the year, and that's what he does. He delivers right by the second baseman. Baez scores. Green goes to third. It is 6-3 Detroit now, and I believe the next play is a bunt that happens to load the bases. Maybe, I'm not exactly sure. Ryan Thompson comes on, the Submariner, and now I am actually off. Eric Haas comes up first, and his first, Brian Thompson's first pitch against Eric Haas would go right up the middle for a base knock, and that would give up a 7-3 lead. Now that bunt happened. Vierling got on by a bunt to load the bases with nobody down. Jonathan Scope, he'd get the first out of the inning, but it would easily score Cabrera on this deep fly ball. Advance Haas to third base as well. Vierling at first still. But with Vierling's speed, we took advantage of that. At first pitch of the next at-bat, we took second base with Matt Vierling, with Nick Manning up to avoid the double play ball. And then, I don't know if anything happened. Let's see. 1-1 count, Nick Manning up, and he rips one. That gets knocked down. He gets out at first, but we score the run. It is 9-3 Detroit. That would basically do it to the game. We jump to the ninth, where it is Garrett Hill, 2 outs, looking for the third out on Wander Franco as he grounds out to second base. Nick Mann makes the play, and the game is over. The Tigers win on opening day, 9-3. Your player of the game would go on to be Nick Mann, as he had, I think, a 2-for-4 game with a home run and a single. He ended up with like 3 or 4 RBIs, scored a couple runs. The win on the day, I believe, goes to Will Vest. Yes, Will Vest. That's a loss goes to Shane McClanahan. See, we won 9-3. We got 11 hits to the Rays 8. See the notable players too. Jonathan Scope 2-for-3 with a double, 2 RBIs and a run. Nick Manning had 4 RBIs. Eric Haas, he ended up 2-for-4 with a double, an RBI, and 2 runs. And Matt Vierling had 2-for-4 day with a run and a stolen base. You can see Tampa Bay's notable players. Not really much. They had Yandy Diaz get on twice. Wander Franco got on a few times. Really, the best player was Manuel Margot, who had the double and 1-for-3 day with an RBI. So that'd do it for Game 1. We then jump ahead to simulate some games here. And you see in the second game, Austin Meadows gets forearm tightness. He just head to the bench for a few games, as he was only out a few days, it looks like. And today was the first day of scouting assignment, which I did do. But first, we checked out the box score of this game. You can see, I believe they put in Akil Baddoo for Austin Meadows, which they did. We lost 8-1. 14 hits for Tampa Bay, 9 for us. We had an error, but you could just see Scope, Vierling, they did all right, but Vierling got our only RBI. Torkelson, I finally remembered to put him back in the lineup. Eric Haas had an error. For some reason, Miguel Cabrera was trying to steal. You see Turnbull allowed 6 runs in the 8-run inning. Hill allowed the other 2 runs. Alexander calmed it down for the rest of the game, but Turnbull allowing 6 runs at 4 2/3 is not a good sign. And you can see Tampa Bay here. Rosarena had 4 hits. Lowe had 3. But this was the time I took to do scouting, and I've never done scouting in this game. Obviously, they updated it this year, but I knew that I had 2 good scouts for positions, like one that's good at pitchers, one that's good at hitters, and then one that's just good at discovery. So I took advantage of that. You saw the first guy we picked, Ricky Lester. He's projected to go roughly around where our pick is. So I went with him. Then I went a little bit later, just in case I wanted to go batter first. I just put one of the right fielders, I believe. I do end up viewing the player card, and it brings me through a tutorial. So hopefully that happens soon, because I'm just looking at a bunch of pitchers. The fact is, this draft class, most of them are pitcher. It's like pitcher dominated early on. So I don't exactly know how I feel. I did look at the catcher here, but I don't think I'm going to go catcher with this. though I didn't realize he's a switch hitter, so maybe I should double check him next week. It's good to know. But I think I go with one of the early right fielders. I forget which one. I think Muhammad Siborski. I don't know how to say that. But I think he's the one I ended up scouting. So I guess we're gonna find out together. Or is it Spanos? Ooh, is it Spanos? Geronimo Spanos? That's a great name, by the way. Let's see. Oh, we did Muhammad. And then again, third scout. He's not really that good at either, but he can discover people. So I think I told him to do infield from Central because I did random region. And that's exactly what he's going to go do. So that was our first week of scouting. I've not watched videos or anything on how to scout, so I hope I did that right. We lose game 3 here against Tampa Bay, so we ended up losing the series 2-1. You can see we had 11 hits, but only 4 runs. And again, more errors. Hopefully we could catch up or fix up the errors. Vierling in center field, I'm pretty sure, did that. Well, they scored 6 runs on 9 hits and 1 error for them. Wentz gets the loss. I can't really see most of the stats because I go through them quickly, but you guys can take a look. Franco got their error. Glasnow gets the win. They got a save there at the end of the game. And then here, we actually got a series against, the Astros. And the first game is a critical situation where Presley's trying to close us out. So I took advantage of this, get more gameplay. We jump in. Miguel Cabrera with a runner on at second. 2-2 count. Miggy grounds it up the middle, diving stop by, I think that's Jeremy Pena, maybe I'm wrong. But he makes the nice play for out number 1. But we do move the runner 90 feet away. Eric Haas draws a walk next at bat here to get another runner on to bring up Kerry Carpenter, who also draws the walk. So bases are loaded with 1 down. And this is Wenceel Perez. I had no idea he was on our roster. I thought he was in the minor league system, but he's on our roster, and the first pitch he sees in this game, he will proceed to get his first career base hit and RBI. As the man keeps the bases loaded. Again, I had no idea he was on our roster, but if you're going to get your first career hit off Ryan Presley to blow his save and get your first major league RBI, I like it. It's a good start to your career there. They'd bring up Brian Abreu, and Javi Baez would come up and fly one out to Kyle Tucker. And this fly ball would take the lead as we tag up the runners at second and third. Wild throw from Tucker. And it is 9-8 Tigers as we'd hold that lead into the 9th, obviously. And later on, 3-2, there is a runner at third base. I don't know how he got there. But Alex Lang would get his first career save as a fly out to right field would do it. I'm sorry, it's a first career save. I meant first save this year. 9-8. We ended up coming back in that 9th inning, probably because I played, to be honest. If I simulated, I guarantee we probably wouldn't have. But whatever, we did it. You can see the player of the game was Spencer Torkelson, 2 for 3 with a home run and 4 RBI. I wonder if that was a grand slam. I don't really know. I didn't take a look at that. Foley got the win. Presley obviously got the loss in the blown save. Alex Lang gets the save. See, Riley Green also went 2 for 4. So our 2 young guys having a good game here, which is what I like to see. They're our top 2 notable players. And that would pretty much win that game, but just like the last series, we lose the next 2. Garrett Hill sustained an injury. He's in the bullpen. Austin Meadows came back. I'd end up putting him back into the lineup for Akil Padu. But you can see it's 3-9 and 3-6 were the 2 games that we lost to the Astros. I might have viewed the box score quickly. I don't think I did. I might have just jumped to showing you guys the stats. Well, I guess I did. You can see some of the stats here. Vierling got a triple. Cabrera got a home run and a double. So Cabrera had a good game, but we could not win in that second game. And the third game, we just ended up playing worse. But Cabrera did get another home run, which is a good sign when the old guy is getting some hits. You can see the stats on the year so far for us. I accidentally switched over to career stats. I was trying to figure out how to sort, and that was not how. Mickey is our best bat right now. 2 home runs, 6 RBIs, batting 425 at-bats, which is great. You can see all the stats here, like OPS and stuff. I mean, these top, 4 are having a great start to the year. Akil Baddoo He was covering. Maybe I should get him into the starting lineup. Kerry Carpenter's having a good average year. But then he just kind of drops up after that. You see Jonathan Scope's not doing well. Javi Baez batting 167. Torkelson's doing all right, but he just has not been really playing much, I guess. No, it looks like he had that one big game, but other than that, it's just been a few singles. Austin Meadows is struggling down here. Nick Manton's batting 500. Jake Rogers isn't really doing well. Creedler didn't even play. And then you could go see the pitching here. Tyler Anderson. Alexander, sorry, not Anderson. Oh my god, I'm struggling to read. Tyler Alexander. He's our most innings pitched at 9.1. He's one of the better ones. Garrett Hill, again, one of the better pitchers. Erod struggling early on as our A's. 7 2/3 innings. 9 strikeouts. That's a 12.91 ERA. And you can see the FIP is 9.65, which is just not good. Matthew Boyd, again, struggling. Matt Manning having pretty good stats in his first game, but he still gets the loss. Jason Foley's doing all right early on. Vest doing pretty good in the one game we played with him, basically, because he has not played since. Alex Lang did good in his save opportunity. And the other two haven't really pitched yet. Guys, thank you all for watching this episode of the Detroit Tigers franchise. Hope you guys enjoy. And until next time, I'll talk to y'all later. I am out. Peace.